Alright, welcome everyone to World History Airlines. Today is Saturday, April 25th, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, and welcome. If you're new here, I appreciate the tune in. We are kind of focused on history and looking at things online, Wikipedia, and learning about history, using some AI here and there, Google Street View, and using travel options to see, what it actually takes to get to these destinations and what fun things there are to do at these exotic locations. And we talk about what we fly over and the land features, the geography. We get into animals and all sorts of different things. So it's kind of a combination of flight sim and history, and this is best I can describe it. So anyway, we are here in the Cayman Islands right now, and the flight this afternoon is direct to St. Martin in the very famous Princess Juliana? I already lost it. Juliana, however you want to pronounce it. Juliana, I was right. But this is the very famous airport. I'm already seeing some interesting things that we'll talk about on the route today. But flight time this afternoon is 2 hours 9 minutes. 2 hours 9 minutes. We will be flying over. Let's look at Google Earth here really quick. I like to do this. Very tiny island to another very tiny island. Owned or governed by two very different nations. We'll get into that as we travel along more. So, direct fly over. We will go over Jamaica. We will go over Haiti. We will see Port-au-Prince. And then over the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and into St. Martin. This is, we'll get into it. We'll get into the history and who owns what and when and why, all that. The weather on the flight should be very pleasant at flight level 350. Not any significant weather, no turbulence, no clouds, no thunderstorms. And we get a tailwind on the way over. So very nice tailwinds going over at 35,000 feet.
Captain, note the load sheet.
Oh, it sounds like some things are ready here. Let's jump in the flight deck and listen to some of these calls. Let's catch up here. Ground's calling us.
Sir, we have completed the refueling process.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Alright, next call.
On the line.
Maintenance task is complete.
Well, which one? I had a couple going.
Listening.
Sir, we are done with the maintenance task.
Okay, both of them I was doing tire pressure and changing right engine oil.
Sir, we are done with the loading process.
Excellent.
Thanks.
We'll talk to ground in a minute. Let's see
Captain,
what Brenda
catering
wants.
is now loaded.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Brenda is my flight attendant. She's the lead. She's an alcoholic. I can't fire her. The airline won't let me fire her. I have no evidence, but she's always drunk. And I know what's in her Stanley cup. It's not just orange juice.
On the line.
Sir, passengers are on board. We are ready.
Much appreciated.
Excellent. Actually, let's keep talking to Brenda.
Yes?
Please feel free to make an announcement now.
By all means.
Okay, let's do a couple things here in preparation for pushback. Let's make sure that we have the APU going so we can disconnect from ground power. We no longer need the ground crew.
All personnel, please clear the area.
All clear, sir.
And remove all ground equipment.
Ground equipment is no longer needed. Please remove it.
On it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oops. One thing I didn't do is adjust the lighting in the cabin at all. You guys have been in the dark the whole time. I'm sorry. What a terrible host I am. Let's get ready for pushback. Let's turn the signs on. Let's turn the beacon light on. Our fuel pumps can come on. And let's... Oh, doors. What am I doing, folks? What am I doing? Main cabin
I would
doors.
like all doors to be closed now.
Okay, now let's take a look outside the aircraft. Beautiful. Beautiful 777-300ER. I am loving the 300ER. Still having some challenging landings, I would say. Some challenge, not challenging, but more 10 feet comes really quick, and it's such a long aircraft that the mains are so much lower than what I'm expecting. So you touch down a lot sooner than you do in the 200, is my experience. You get the 10-foot call out, the 5-foot call out on the 200ER, but the 300, it's 30, 20, 10, boom, immediately. So you gotta really flare right before 10. I'm gonna start flaring, I think, more towards 20 feet, 30 or 20 feet, but yeah, it's a challenge, man. So let's talk about a few things. We'll talk about pushback first. So let's look at the airport here. We are on a very, very short field, 7,867 feet. That's shorter than my home regional airport. But yet this is an international airport. So very short runway. If we overrun, we're going right into the water, essentially. So what we're going to do is we're going to taxi out of, let's do a little, our doodles. I like to do doodles on this channel. We're going to come straight out and back taxi on the runway. We'll do a little 180 here, and that's what we're going to do. That's our plan. So let's look at our pushback option here. We're going to pretty much, we're going to do a weird push and pull, I think. So a little bit of a push and pull. Let's go ahead and start pushback.
Pushback, please.
Set park brake.
Parking brake is set.
And up to that. Flight number 69. British Airways. Up to bat. Anyone else been watching baseball this season? I've been enjoying the baseball games I've seen. Keeping up with my favorite teams. Watching games. I binge on games. Some days I don't watch any baseball. Other days it's like I'll watch 6 games if I can.
Release the brakes, sir.
Brakes are released.
We are starting the pushback.
Alright. Push pull, push pull. This chill jazz station's kind of a banger, as the kids would say. Did the kids say banger? So let's put the tail now. I'm worried about that tree. So let's pull. Let's just go straight back as far as we can go, and then we'll pull forward where we need to be. That sounds like a better course of action. Easy. 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 Excellent. Let's go ahead and do our pull. But Captain, you're not starting the engines. I don't like to do two things at once if I can help it. Well, I don't know who the hell put this fuel truck right there, but it might get blown away here in a minute. Man, she's long. My next wish, the end of the year, I know it won't happen. That's why wishes don't ever happen. But my wish is a 787, the family, the fucking family all at once. I want the 8, the 9, the 10. And fucking charge me, you know, what the add-ons would be on top of it, off the base model. Well, I guess that's not fair to most people. So I would get all three. I'd get the 8, the 9, the 10. And the year after that, let's just say that in 27, the 787 comes out from Flight Factor, right? Because it sounds like the 350, might come out. Starting engine number 1, we're looking for a rise in oil pressure before we introduce fuel. I call that a rise. Let's introduce fuel on the left engine. End our process
Pushback
with
complete.
The ground crew.
Show me the pin.
Remove the equipment. All clear.
Thanks.
Have a safe flight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wave off.
Yes, sir. Waving off.
All right. Cabin controls, lighting. Everyone is clear. Yes. So, oops. What in the hell? Let's have Brenda do safety.
All ears.
I would ask you to make an announcement now.
Definitely.
Thank you, Brenda. Let's do chrono, so I know our timings here. Good start on the left. Let's start on the right. She's spinning. There's oil pressure rise. Introduce fuel. Let's jump back here and listen to her. The GE90, ladies and gentlemen, the GE90. Let's go ahead and turn on our center hydraulics. Should have done that before engine start. APU can come off. What's next? Oh, I didn't clean up this panel. Let's clean up this panel really quick. I put this in before I started the live stream. We're flaps 15 today. Center of gravity of 2.5. Our trim will be 4.75. Let's go ahead and put that in. Our V1 speed 132. VR 140, V2 155. 155. So let's go ahead and put in plus 10. There we are. Our departure runway is 08, so let's go ahead and put in 085. And our altitude is 35,000 feet. Let's go ahead and double check we're not in anyone's airspace right now. And no, Kingston is not online, so we're good to go. And there's no one at this airport. So we've talked about, we're still on flight controls. I put my feet and hands on the flight controls. Alright, full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. I didn't see any stutter. Perfect. Let's go ahead and pull out the speed brakes. Excellent. I always like to take a little peek underneath, see those hydraulics and cables and all that good stuff. They can come down and disarmed. Auto brake can come onto RTO. Let's turn on our VOR left and right. Flight directors. Auto throttle on. Flight director. VORs. Let's jump back in the cabin. Listen to the flight. The hydraulics come down on the flaps. 15. Before we go any further, as the flaps came down there, I want to get rid of that. I don't want to get out of the whole flight. Let's put in the weather before we taxi out. Cayman Islands, Owen Roberts. Wind 160, 8 knots. Visibility 10,000 meters or greater. Few clouds, 1,800. 86 degrees. Holy shit. It's a hot one. 1011. Man, it is hot in Kingston. Or, excuse me, not Kingston. The Cayman Islands. We'll be flying over Kingston. Okay, in the center, let's check our gear. Tire pressures look good. Oh, we got a call from Brenda. What's up, Brenda?
Did you want something?
Captain, we are already here. Safety briefing has been read. Cabin is secured.
Wow, that was quick. Probably didn't do her job right because she's just fucking drunk. Alright, park brake off. Taxi lights, runway turn off lights. What is our plan here? Hotel Foxtrot back taxi. Grand Cayman Speedbird 69 will be taxiing out runway 8 via Hotel Foxtrot, back taxiing runway 26 for runway 8. Grand Cayman. Alright, I think we're ready. U to engines, U to camera. Let's load our camera. Swing her out a little bit. Go ahead and no, I'll keep the chrono going. What airline did I just see recently? A U.S. domestic airline. Flight attendants are now being paid for being boarding and taxiing, so they're not just paid on wheels up, wheels down. Nice. Grand Cayman Speedbird 69 is taking runway 8 back taxi. Grand Cayman. Clear left, clear right. We're on an active runway, strobes on, wing lights on, landing
Approaching
lights on.
26.
Let's swing her wide. Watch that right main.
Altitude 35,000
Give her a little
feet. Check.
speed.
On runway 26.
Excellent. So, back taxiing, you kind of want to be swift, especially if it's a island airport like this where there's not really many places nearby to divert to. You want to be quick on the back taxi and get off the runway because jets are coming in, jets need to go out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. The flight time will be 2 hours, 5 minutes. Grand Cayman to St. Martin, Princess Juliana. And unfortunately, with this version of the 777, replays are not working for me. So I cannot replay my landings, which sucks. Flight Factor, if you are listening, Guten Tag, please fix two things. One, up on the upper right hand corner of your screen, this little fucking thing, Flight Factor, we're not using this. No one uses this. Get rid of it. You're ruining my screenshots, okay? 2, what was B? I just forgot. If you're listening, that thing. Oh, get replays under control. Like, seriously, we want to see the whole flight in replay like a default aircraft. Not this, like, 140-second bullshit on just landings. Because I'm not going to watch a replay of my takeoff as I'm taking off, right? Watch those right mains. Max wingspan, 36 meters. Does that exclude us? Probably. Okay, watching those right mains. Now let's swing her. Not that kind of swinger. Watching those left mains. Let's cut her more because our wingspan's way longer. Oh. Watch those left mains. Nice. Tire pressure. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, if it's the nose gear,
Approaching
that's
8.
another thing. Oh my god.
On runway 8.
Let's go as straight as we can get. It is the front mains. God. Guys, literally, I just did this. Oops. I just did this. Did we not just look at this and it was like 100 or like 200 PSI? We just did that. Whatever. Flight Factor, you're killing me here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's reset our chrono. Oops. Wait, how do I know it started? I don't know if it started or not. We gotta watch that. Let's spool up to 50%, listen to these GE90s. Ooh, is this JetBlue coming in? Yep. Grand Cayman traffic, Speedbird 69, departing runway 8. Let's go. I don't know if that chronograph's working or not. We gotta keep an eye on that. That's like my big, sterile cockpit. Let's take off. winds are shifty.
V1.
Rotate. Up we go. Gear up. Nice. Flaps 5. LNAV.
LNAV.
VNAV.
VNAV speed.
Flaps 1. 1,500 feet. Auto throttle.
Thrust reference.
Oh, they sound so good. Goodbye, Grand Cayman. We'll research you in just a minute. Flaps clean. Alright, we got that intercept. Let's follow those lines. Following those lines. Man, we are rocketing out of here. Alright, I'm gonna
Autopilot engaged.
go ahead and throw on autopilot. So we can kinda, well, pretty much about to leave
Heading
the
to
island.
course.
Out of here. Bye, Grand Cayman. We have 35,000 pounds of rum on board. Of rum. Not a fire hazard by any means, but, you know. Did that JetBlue actually land behind us? Oh, they're still coming in. I didn't even see where they were flying in from. JFK and an A320. Wow. JFK to Grand Cayman. That's
Monitor
crazy.
lights.
Monitor lights. 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come off. Runway turn-offs. Taxi lights. Wing light. Logo light. And no electronic sign can come off. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have an approved electronic device, you may use it now. Please remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign comes off. Then and only then you're free to move about the cabin as you please. If you have vape or cannabis, no open flame. Light them if you got them. Crack open some drinks as soon as the drink cart comes by. And 2 hours, 5 minutes to St. Juliana,
Heading to
St. Martin.
course.
Welcome aboard. That would be my announcement. How good is that? Brenda, what do you want?
Listening.
Captain, would you like some coffee?
Not at this time.
Got you.
Let's go ahead and do standard barometric pressure. I don't know what the transition altitude is down here. Show that outside the aircraft. Look at this beauty. It's kind of disorienting to be not really see the horizon.
Heading to course.
Oh my god. The heading to course thing's obnoxious too. What's our actual heading?
Heading 108. Selected.
108. And then after Aut Echo, we will have a heading to 110. Excellent. Gotta keep that UV out, man. UV radiation will kill you. Do we have anyone? Let's see what oh, tower's online. There's one person taxiing out right now. It's a TTCP. I don't know where that that airport is. I thought there was a little arch thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's just to see where they've been. Let's look at networks. I don't care about gates. Departures. There have been 2. How many people have left? Oh, wow. Holy shit. So many people have left. That's crazy. Arrivals, 3. Cool. That's us. In a JetBlue flight coming from Boston, way after us. And the aircraft is way before us. So we'll be alone when we come in. No one else is coming in. Who's departing here? Scheduled, and they're delayed. They forgot. These 2 are coming. Wait. I don't know. Well, anyway, that's a bummer. Maybe ATC will be online by the time we get there. Maybe they'll be online. Since we're climbing, let's check out Grand Cayman Island. Ooh. Oh yeah. Beach. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go to the beach. super worthy. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Ooh, that's a nice pool. So it's a resort place. It's a resort. Let's see if I dox myself again by doing this. Okay, maps. Barefoot Beach. Let's check Barefoot Beach out. Ooh, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, these are the best beaches. Like, it might be littered with like natural stuff, but if you get a nice little spot, dude, these are the best beaches. They're like, you don't see any people. They're like, usually have like a really secluded little area, so they're not like noisy boats and shit going by. Oh, yeah.
1,000 to go.
Barefoot Beach, that's what I'm talking about.
VNAV half, auto throttle in speed mode.
Yeah, unless it's like that most of the time, and you can't be on it, that sucks. Yeah, that's a bummer. Let's look at the public beach. The public beach has one pavilion, two pavilions, and an old dock that you can't walk on. Also littered. That's cool. I could hang out there. Oh yeah. The blowholes. Oh, let's check it out. I thought it was going to show the blowhole. So it looks like it's that. So it looks like it's small. There's a crafts market with no one there. There are no cold water, coconuts, or Pepsis there. Does this guy get drowned? Oh, it's slow-mo. Nice. He enjoyed it. Heritage Beach. No pictures. Beach Bay. Ooh. This is what you think about when you think about the Caribbean. That's a nice beach. Oh yeah. Let's check out Street View. cruise ship. Look at that. The rum bar. Diving. Oops. As a big ship. Oh, that looks pretty good. Damn. Unless it's like super cheap to go here, it doesn't really appeal to me, like, unless it's like super known for diving or something. Scratch Donuts Bakehouse right by the airport. Hell yeah. I want a basket of donut holes. See the airport right there. Hell yeah, guys, let's go to here. Let's go here. Eat donuts. Do they have coffee? I hope they have coffee. Yeah, they have lattes. Matcha latte. Matcha, if you're into matcha. Coffee, hell yeah. 12 ounce, yeah. They're alright prices. Especially if it's USD. But these are good prices for like carrot cake, $4.50 for a donut. That's not bad. Oatmeal crack pie, yeast raised brochet donut, double milk glaze, vanilla frosting, oat cookie crumb, salted caramel. Wow, that sounds good. If I'm ever in Grand Cayman, I'll go there. Mangroves. All right. So it's just like super. Hey, right there. Yeah, this is the spot. This is the only place I'd go. Runway's right off to your right. I could sit right at that table and be happy all fucking day. That's exactly what I'd be doing. Camera, food, beer. Hell yeah. Runway. See, everyone's over here looking at the water. Hey, looking at water is nice, but if I'm gonna look at anything, it's gonna be airplanes. Why is this guy looking at her? That was odd. What are drinks here? Holy shit. Oh, those are times. I was like, a Caribbean cocktail costs $10.50? That's cool. Flight times. Cool. Yeah, you sit right there, right on the beach. No one's there during the evening. Yeah, I guess people don't swim here because like the waves are pretty aggressive. I would not get in that water. More than ankle high. I wonder how much shit is in this water right here. You know, people sit on the beach here, and when the weight from the aircraft comes off, it blows a bunch of shit. Oh, they got a pool right there and pizza. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy. Is there a beach within walking distance? Hell yeah. Look at how deserted that beach is. There's no one on it. Nice. An otter. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. There's a ferry terminal. That's cool. That's not real. That's a replica. Again, this just does not seem like a place that I'm gonna go to. Like, if you're just gonna lounge by a pool on the beach, like, I'd go to Florida. Go to California. I'm not going to St. Martin. Another blowhole. Whoopee. I've already lost enthusiasm of this place. I remember in Flight Sim 2002, 2004, which I think it was 2002. Flight Sim 2002. It was a blue CD case, and it had a Grand Caravan on it. It was red and white. Grand Caravan. I think there was a mountain in the background or something. But anyway, one of the like featured areas, I guess, like way back before like custom airports and stuff, like one of the better places to fly, I guess, was St. Martin. And in Flight Sim 2000, or yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2002, I would fly the DC-3 out of St. Martin and just like go all around this island. Because at the time, all I knew, it was like 2003, 2004. The only thing I knew is that this was a famous airport because it was right on the, right on the beach. And I'd seen like a picture at that time, or maybe a YouTube video. YouTube wasn't even around. I saw a picture or something, and I just knew that this was like a popular airport, and like my only way to see it was through Flight Sim 2002. And I'd fly like, it's kind of mountainous right through here. See, so it's mountainous, and I would like come down and fly through these valleys and stuff by the mountains, and like land at this airport going this way, and then take off and go that way, and just in a DC-3, and it was so much fun. Yeah, how right was I? Yeah, I was spot on. Red Cessna Caravan, a mountain flight simulator in 2002. Hell yeah. Wow, that livery right there takes me back. Yup. Look at that. Yep. Yep, that livery right there. The Skyhawk. There was a 747 in this too that was like, had a livery that was pretty iconic. I wonder what would happen if I put that CD. I don't even have a CD drive. What am I talking about? I was about to say, what would it be like? Oh, maybe I'm thinking of 2004. For the DC-3. Yeah. Century of Flight. Yep, the Vickers. Learjet 45. Any flight simmers remember that? Yeah, the DC-3. There you go. Yep. Man. Hey, I'll be right back. Yep, 4 tri-motor. Spirit of St. Louis. And the de Havilland, I forget what it's called. It was a de Havilland though. It was a race airplane, like when aviation in its prime, way back in the 30s, 30s and 40s, when engines were getting more powerful, they were wanting to go further and further, faster and faster, and they would do these races like around the world in these small prop planes and stuff. Very cool. Yep, look at this cockpit. Is this someone's Facebook page? Oh, yeah. Look at that cockpit. Like, back then, this was, like, the clouds were so good. And seeing, like, all of the instruments, like, in a 3D cockpit working, you could move your view around and the instruments would still work. Like, how, that was revolutionary. That was so cool. It was always these 2D panels that you had, like, no situational awareness. It was just like looking through a paper tube. Yep, Learjet 45. Let's look up FSX. Yep. Sorry. Oh, wow. Hey, that's not... Wow. And for FSX, that's not bad, man. You got stars, the lighting. That's pretty cool. And then you got the cockpit lighting. Whatever this aircraft is, Embraer, something. Oh, yeah. Landing this on the oil rig. Remember that? The 777, even back then, I wasn't interested in it. I was interested in the Cessna. Yeah, again, being in a 3D cockpit where it was more like real life perspective and the instruments were working and stuff, like, it was just a game changer. And back then they had seasons. Like, FSX was ahead of its time. I never had the 757. So, let's look at Xplane 9. Hell yeah, dude. Xplane 9 was my jam. Yep. What it looked like. Lowy. The SR-71, yeah. Yup. Yep, and the Piaggio. I hated that even back then. Yeah, bird strikes. This is what bird strikes look like. And they'd make an awful boom sound on the 2D panel here. This was a default aircraft in Xplane 9 where you just had very simple buttons. You had very simple attitude indicator, very simple gear, flaps that you, like, they weren't notches at all. They were just sliders. So you would just slide the flaps to wherever you felt like, I guess. Oh, and that was on, this is the iPad version. But that was still a feature in Xplane 9, the bird strikes. Wow. Oh, wow, yeah. So I was always on Mac, right? 2 gigahertz Intel Mac Core Solo was the minimum requirement. I had an Intel Mac Core 2 Duo. a gig of RAM. I think I had a gig of RAM, maybe 2 gigs of RAM at the time. And then 64 megabytes of VRAM. I probably had, yeah, like 64. I think the computer I had might have had 128, to be honest. I think I had 128 VRAM. I had 2 gigs of RAM, and it was a 2.4 Intel Core 2 Duo. It was a black MacBook. No, I was on Windows at the time, so I was on Windows XP, I guess. Yep, the F4 taking off from the carrier. The oil rig helicopter landings. The Learjet 45. I think that's the 777. Wow, look at the frame rate here too. 20. Yeah, and this is a good example, I think, of the focus and dedication that Laminar Research has on the physics of these aircrafts. Like, this is way back in the beginning. So the physics and the flight dynamics are so accurately modeled. You're looking at so many different factors happening right now that the sim is simulating. You have rotation, you have P-factor, you have lift. I don't think they added drag until like 10. Grand Canyon in the 172 with Kit Boga. Anyone a Kit Boga fan? I'm a huge Kit Boga fan. I love Kit Boga. Yep, Canadian Air, fire retardant, firefighting aircraft, the F4. Yeah, oh yeah. And then all the waypoints and everything was like, yeah, man, this takes me back. Battery, generator, avionics, inverter. Like, and I remember looking back at all of this, being like, holy shit, like, what do I do first? And this was so foreign to me. Like a plan segment to do this, you could obviously figure it out now. It's pretty rudimentary and basic, but like back then, being 14, 15, 16 years old, I don't remember how old I was. When it come out in 2009, so I guess I was older, but didn't know anything about this. The fuel situation of like when to put the like all the sequence of things, the flow, what all these instruments meant, and just remember like getting up in the air and figuring out like, okay, this is airspeed, okay, this is altitude, this is how fast you go up and down, this is which way you're facing, and this is like showing you where the airports are near you and stuff. So like, and then having all these warnings of telling you specifically what's going on. And then the radio stack, had no clue about that, didn't ever do anything with that, ever. I didn't know what any of this meant until I actually did real flight training. And it's on the other side, so it's like, oh, it's a bigger aircraft, right? It's cool. Piago coming into low E. So, yeah, just blast from the past, man. Let's do Xplane. Was it 10 or X? I think it was X. Oh, no, it was 10. Global. Yeah. Global. Yep. So you have physics of it. United 747. Oh yeah. The wings. If you crash this thing, the wings on this would bend. if you pulled, like, if you just jerk back on the controls back then, it would just like kind of do it, and the wings would bend like circular around kind of thing. Yep, the old KLM livery on the 737, I remember that. The B-52, I thought that was so cool, and the B-52 cockpit was two-dimensional, but I just thought the B-52 was, that's how I learned about it. I learned about most airplanes through Flight Sim. Oh, the space shuttle. I remember the space missions. I never did the space missions. The Baron 58, 747. The night lighting was like, this was, and traffic was a new thing. There was a mission too where you get dropped by the B-52, the X1. Or is this the X? Yeah, I think it's the X1. That gets dropped like a weapon. Stationary aircraft. That was a new thing. Having like other aircraft at the airport with you. Space missions. That's altered. It didn't look that good. Oh yeah, the Xplane 10 and 11. Oh, the CRJ 200. I had that one. That was the first payware aircraft I bought. First aircraft I bought. The CRJ 200. And then Xplane 11, of course, is not so ancient. Old. Xplane 11, I had the Ultimate. I had the Flight Factor Ultimate, and it just ate my machine alive. But I could do it. Yeah, look at this. So the flight models got way better. So thrust and just all the aerodynamics and stuff. Like it's I can't explain it, but explain it. Get it? Explain. The flight physics are just amazing. Yeah, gliders. Maybe I'll do a glider stream one of these days. Summertime comes around, go to like a mountainous region like Phoenix or somewhere. Salt Lake City, Colorado, Arizona. Let's get back in our sim. About a third of the way there. We're about to reach Haiti. Let's see if we can see Haiti. Yep. Look up here. Yep, there is Haiti. Haiti is more mountainous than I imagined. Let's check on a few things. Let's check on YouTube. Looking good. Let's go ahead and switch this station. I'm ready for some chill jazz.
Heading to course.
God, you're so obnoxious.
Heading 091. Check. Heading to course. Heading 104. Check. Vertical speed engaged. Minus 1,000 feet per minute. Set. 279 knots. Check. Minus 1,700 feet per minute. Set.
What are you doing? Come here. There's a cat. And this.
Minus 2,000 feet per minute. Selected. Heading to course. Heading to course. Heading to course. Heading to course.
Alright, we are coming into St. Martin. We're going to reduce our speed and introduce
24
some speed
knots.
brake.
Set. $1,000 to go. Altitude hold engaged. Heading to course. Flight level 030 selected. Vertical speed engaged. Minus 1,000 feet per minute selected. Minus 700 feet per minute selected. Heading to course. Heading to course.
Slow descent.
Flight level 020. Check. $209 knots. Check. Heading to course. Heading to course. Heading to course. Heading select. Heading 130. Set. $1,000 to go. Heading 190. Selected. $179 knots. Selected.
Princess Juliana, this is Speedbird.
Altitude hold engaged.
Heavy. We are on approach for runway 10.
Speedbird 69 Juliana, correction tower, hello. Continue approach number 2.
Heading
Continue approach number 2,
090.
Speedbird
Set.
69.
Heading 085. Check. 159 knots. Check.
Osprey 566 Romeo Juliet Tower, will continue approach number 3. Number 3.
Alright guys, got a little traffic around us.
Vertical speed engaged.
Got a little traffic around
Minus
us.
500 feet per minute. Select. Heading 075. Set.
3 miles, 6,000. Traffic information is a triple
Altitude hold engaged.
to your 11 o'clock same altitude for 2 miles. Then
That's us.
Feedback 6 lines, traffic information is a PC-12, approximately 20 miles, 2 o'clock same altitude.
Alright, let's get set up. 154.
154 knots. Check.
Lights. Signs. Holy shit.
Monitor gear.
And tower, we have traffic right above us. We are Speedbird 69 heavy, and they just went about 100 feet above us.
Okay, tower, traffic information.
That was close. We'll expect late landing clearance for Speedbird 600. Late landing clearance.
Is correct, and I'm late located. Mike Bravo, over Delta Roger Managers. Okay. Osprey 566 Roma, can you do around?
Full flaps.
566 Roma, Roger, he's calling back on a 10-mile final break. Speedbird 6-mile, winds 1704010, clear flaps.
Clear for land, runway 10, Speedbird 600.
Juliet Mike, it's Bravo, traffic is the 777 4-mile final. Meeting, it's a British Airways, report time 50 runway 10. British Airways, stage landing now, recommend fire, time on travel. 524 short, traffic switch, PT 12, 12 o'clock, 3.5 miles, 1 direction, 2,500. We're looking Efox setting down.
Very high. Coming down.
Efox setting down.
I don't want to descend too quickly. I think we got it just about here. Watch that speed. Watch that descent.
1,000.
1,000 feet. We're good. We're going to land. Got it. Watching that speed.
Approaching 107,600 feet available.
Short line. We got it. We got it. Are we going to buzz the beach? Let's buzz the beach.
500.
Let's buzz the beach.
Caution, short runway,
400.
short runway.
Watch that speed.
300. Approaching the
Fly.
coast.
Let's buzz the beach. Watching that speed.
200. Minimums.
Good. We're good.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, hard landing.
Whatever you deem necessary.
Reversers. Nose down. Gently. Decel.
3,000 feet remaining.
Backtrack Charlie, Alpha 1, Speedbird 600.
2,000 feet remaining.
Alright. Manual braking. Flaps up. Speed brakes in. Auto brakes off. I don't know why speed brakes aren't the one in. Because we're above 30 knots. Whatever. Auto throttle not working. Oh, because reversers. That's why.
Approaching 2-8. Approaching 2-8.
I don't know what the throttles are just did.
And the option thing is going to be a full stop.
On runway 28.
Speedbird 600, should we hold position? Alright, clear for backtrack, Alpha 1 for our stand, Speedbird 600.
Vacate right, Charlie.
Vacate via Charlie. Charlie is the third right. That aircraft in front of us threw me off. Alright, as we're taxiing down, let's pull the throttles back to about 31% or so. 30 knots is good. We need... Charlie is our third right.
Bravo, Bravo, time to make it by Bravo. Time to make it, Bravo, Bravo, Bravo.
Very cool. Very cool. What a cool approach. That was fun. That's Echo. Delta. Charlie is our exit. Let's get our landing lights off. Strobe lights off. AP is running. We are good to vacate. Pull back the throttle. Alpha 1 is either to the very far right or left. Let's see. Alpha 1 is far to the left. Speedbird 69 Heavy, thanks for the ATC. Good night. Oh, they boarded their landing. Welcome to St. Martin, ladies and gentlemen.
Reduce fire bridge speed, traffic is a light aircraft or final. Approach.
Very nice. Boeing 777 all the way to the end. Do we have enough speed? Probably not. Let's add a little thrust. Come on. A little further. Boom. Park brake on. Engines off. Seatbelt signs off. Lights. Let's get the gate in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to St. Martin. We didn't look up that much history this flight. It was kind of a low-key flight, but good enough. I mean, we looked up some things to do in St. Martin. We looked up some restaurants. We looked up some street view. But overall, very good flight. We learned a little bit about the Cayman Islands. We learned a little bit about St. Martin. Both locations are have their own personality, characteristics, and I appreciate them, and I think they're lovely, but overall, I don't think I'd visit either location. That's just me, but stay tuned for the next flight. I think we're going to go back to the mainland U.S. from the Virgin Islands here on an evening flight. It is 5:40 p.m. on the East Coast, and I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I will see you in the next